It can never be simple, can it? I cannot believe I have to make this video because, boy oh boy, I thought this was going to be a simple election. Nope. We have total chaos happening right now in Alaska. So much so that we're going to do a video solely dedicated to discussing what the hell is happening in Alaska. Now, I touched upon this a little bit yesterday, but this is so chaotic that I'm going to dedicate a full video discussing what's going on in Alaska because I was not expecting this. I thought, okay, yes, we knew beforehand that it was going to take a couple weeks for us to know who the winner was. Yes, I know that's ridiculous, but we thought, okay, we're going to know pretty much, where most of the votes are on election night and the day after. We're going to know like 99% of who got the most votes and all that good stuff, and where the candidates are at. Well, folks, that's aged well. So well, in fact, that we're not going to know the winner of Alaska truly for a couple of weeks. And I wanted to discuss today who this race is leaning towards because this is a close race. I'm talking about the special House election. I'm ignoring the Senate election. Point being is a Senate election, you look at some of the primary data, you look at some of the turnout data, it's not going to correlate to the general. It's stupid, but that's the truth. Now, before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, and yes, of course, go follow the mysterious Twitter account in the description down below, and yeah. So, I originally thought, okay, we were going to know the winner of Alaska's special election the day after. I thought, okay, yes, we're not going to know the second choice for a while, but we're going to have a good understanding of where the candidates are going to be at. Well, 82% reporting, and we have no freaking clue who's going to win. Now, I think it's clear, though, that Palin is for sure going to make it to the second round. Is there a chance for Bigich, the other Republican, to make it? Yeah, but I'm really confident to say it's going to be Palin versus Potola. I think that's how you say her last name. And this should be a slam dunk then, because you would say all of the Republicans would vote towards Palin. It's iffy. If you don't know Alaska elections, you don't freaking know who these people are going to vote for. This is a cursed state politically. This may be the most cursed of any state in the country. They, for years, have been an extremely independent-minded vote group. I mean, seriously, they voted for independent governors every cycle, independent, senators and all that stuff. It's a crazy election system in Alaska, on top of the stupid ranked choice voting nonsense. So these Bigich voters, which, by the way, Bigich is good on the issues, but his family were known to be Democrats. I mean, that's just a fact. I think his great-uncle, was a senator of Alaska, I believe. I could be wrong here, and he was a Democrat. The point being is, it's extremely cursed with the Bigich voters, because, yes, I think a substantial amount would go to Palin. The problem is, how many of them will actually choose to vote a second option? Because as many of you probably do know, you don't have to vote a second option. If you truly don't want to, you don't have to. It's called exhausting a vote. Essentially, your vote doesn't matter. So yeah, but there are some indicators to show that Palin may be favored by a couple points. The first thing is Palin's down by around 6 points. End of the day, I think she'll be down by 7 points in the first round. Well, you look at the polling we have from Alaska this cycle, alright, for the special election. Look at this. Most of the polls, there's been only one pollster doing it, and these guys, they're not necessarily the best, but quite frankly, they're the only one that can try to pull Alaska. If you don't know, polling Alaska is a whole different ballgame. It's nearly impossible. But the point being is, you look here, and they had Palin down against Pelota by 12 points, and they ran a hypothetical second round. They had her losing by 2. Currently, she's down by 6. Do some basic math, and end of the day, she would probably end up winning if things go her way by 3 to 4 points, according to this poll, which they actually undersampled Palin a little bit, oversampled Pelota's voters a little bit. So there is, in my opinion, an indicator here that Palin is favored, all right? Is it by a lot? I give it like a 55-60% chance. Again, this system is stupid. No state should ever do this. I repeat, I'm fine with runoffs, but this is stupid. Ranked choice voting is a whole different ballgame. Again, I'm making a whole video on it. It's a joke. But the point being is there is some indication that Palin is favored. Now, here's a problem with Alaska elections. They never report by county. I think they do technically like 3 years after the election or something like that, but they report by electoral district. And it's hard to find the data, but there is a website out there that actually has the data. I wouldn't say a friend, he is very good at what he does. Sinwaisi, right? I know I'm not going to butcher the name, but he is very good at what he does. He makes great maps and stuff. He actually was able to make a map of the electoral districts, and as you can see, it's just why. But point being, these are like the state house seats, and we actually do have some results for this Alaska race. And of course, Anchorage area is favoring Pelota the Democrat by quite a bit. And the rest of the state, it's cursed. You got some of the native tribes up here, which will favor Democrats. That's why you have like 38 being, heavy Democrat. I think that's where the native tribes are. There's a couple of them. You got the Anchorage area and all that good stuff. So the point being is you can see where Pelota is doing best in some of the most heavy Dems precincts in Anchorage. Now, here's the thing that I want to look at. Let's look at House District 17. This is one of the most Democrat districts in Alaska. Pelota's at 63.5%. We have data from 2016, or 2020, I should say, which shows that Biden got around 64.5% of the vote. What does this mean? This does indicate that I don't think Pelota's going to get that many of Begich voters. It really looks like Pelota's going to get 2-3% of that 19%. So she goes to like 65, 66, maybe 67% of the vote after the Begich voters decide who's their second option. So that's what I'm talking about, folks. You look at some of these precincts, and I think she's tapped out in a lot of these areas. House District 16, Biden-friendly district, she may get a lot of votes there because, it's still a lot of, she only had 50%, Biden was at like 56%, etc. And I know Alaska elections are weird, but there is sometimes some correlation to see where the second voters vote. And obviously the Begich voters, they're going to favor Palin. It's a matter of how much. But I do think you start looking at a place like District 11, I believe. Yeah, this is a Trump plus 10 seat. And, right now, Begich is losing the seat by 4. Pelota's at 38%. This indicates to me there's a lot of Trump voters that voted for Begich. They're going to vote Palin their second option. So you start doing some math here, and I do think that there is a serious shot that Palin's going to win. I give like a 55-60%. It's a hard thing to decipher because we don't have all the votes in, and it's just extremely cursed. It's extremely stupid how they do the elections in Alaska. Now, before we can end today's video, I do want to look over the Senate race real quickly. It's just kind of out there. I'm not going to decipher it much because, again, primaries in Alaska, good luck. But the point being is Murkowski is currently at 44%. Will that increase? She probably gets to like 55%. There's some votes left in the more Democrat-friendly precincts. Obviously, that's going to favor Murkowski. But you look at some of the places in Anchorage. Once again, this proves my point. Let's look at, District 11 again. It's right here, I think. Right there. Murkowski's almost at 50% in a Trump plus 10 seat. My opinion, what's happening here is Murkowski has the advantage of course, getting all the Democrat vote. I mean, yes, you got Patricia, who's going to get like 6%, but that's about it. Point being is there is a substantial amount of Democrats voting for Murkowski, and Republicans are heavily voting for Shabaka. But you look at some of these data points, it's like Murkowski's gonna almost, take 50% in a Trump-friendly precinct or district. You see why I'm starting to say that this primary turnout stuff in Alaska is nuts? Because it doesn't correlate. Like, Murkowski is not gonna win this seat. She's not gonna, peel off that many Trump supporters. She just won't. It's basically impossible. We saw this in Wyoming. And with all that in mind, Shabaka, it's a 50-50 shot if she wins this fall. It's just hard to decipher turnout being so weird and, like, correlating with the general. You really can't, because Alaska elections, unnecessarily painful. But anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And, yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.